I haven't seen you since you got fired for gross incompetence.
Well, as you can see, incompetence is paying very well these days.
I'm revving too. You just can't hear it because it's an electric car.
Yeah? Mine's not!
You seem to be doing very well. What kind of drugs are you dealing?
I love that show. Notice that Dilbert's electric car was considered to be less manly than the sports car with the loud pipes. Now, this seems to be a common perception about electric cars and even hybrids like the Prius. In fact, I've had my sexual orientation questioned on numerous times because I drive a Prius. I've discovered this seems to be a popular opinion among teenage boys. So I set out on a mission to discover why that is. I decided to go out and do a little research. You can go onto Google and type the keywords Prius and gay, and it doesn't take long to find a few hundred comments left on various websites, again, mostly from teenage boys, suggesting that the Prius is gay. So here's what I discovered. Gay Life on About.com has a top list of cars for gay men every year. Now, I went through the list of the top 8 gay vehicles for 2010, and here they are. The Acura ZDX, the Audi A3 TDI, which ironically is called the best green car for gay men, the Chevy Camaro, the Ford Fiesta, the Subaru Outback, the Volvo C70, the Jaguar XJ, and the Infiniti M. Notice that the Prius didn't even make the list. I also checked the archives and didn't see the Prius on any of the previous year's lists either. So I did a little bit more research and I found that CarTalk.com had done an actual survey of gay and lesbian and found out what they prefer to drive. For men, the list is, starting with number 10, the Chrysler Sebring, the VW Cabrio, the VW Golf, the Saturn SC1, the Saab 900. Number 5 is the Mazda Miata. Number 4 is the Jeep Wrangler. BMW 3 Series. Number 2 is the VW Beetle. And the number 1 car of all is the VW Jetta. Again, the Prius didn't even make the list. I also found a website called gaywheels.com which caters to this very subject. And they have a poll that shows the most popular vehicle brands for gays are Subaru, followed by Volkswagen, Ford, Volvo, and BMW. Again, Toyota didn't even make the list. The only mention on the website I could find of the Prius is a comment from Joe Lemuraglia. I'm not sure I pronounced that right. But anyway, it's one of his reviewers, and he said, "I hate hybrids." That's about the only thing he had to say about the Prius. So it appears that heterosexual men who don't like the Prius tend to call it gay. But actual gay men really don't seem to be that interested in the car. So I spent some time trying to determine why this is, and I've come up with 2 possible explanations. One could be a result of Toyota's own marketing campaign. Watch this recent commercial featuring the 2010 Prius.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season.
You get more power and more space. The world gets fewer smog-forming emissions. The 3rd generation Prius. It's harmony between man, nature, and machine.
Okay, it's hard to deny that this commercial definitely doesn't do anything to increase the macho feeling of testosterone associated with the car. In fact, every Prius owner I've talked to online hated that commercial. The second possibility is this. Many young men and teenagers feel that they need a macho vehicle to impress the girls. They need it to be big and loud. But the Prius is neither of those things. But I think many men may secretly feel guilty about driving their big trucks and SUVs, so they need an extra reason to convince themselves that the Prius is a bad car. Now, they can't knock the car on its reliability and call it junk because it's one of the most reliable cars made. And they can't knock it on any of the technical features because it puts other cars to shame. And they can't knock it based on its sales figures because it's one of the best-selling cars on the market. So they choose to belittle the car with things that are essentially opinions, such as saying it's ugly or saying that it's gay. There may even be some greater force out there trying to convince young kids that the Prius is gay. But I don't think it matters because most teenagers aren't Toyota's target market for the car anyway. And I think by the time most men reach their 20s and 30s, they're mature enough to think for themselves and not worry about what other people say. So, in conclusion, I would say that there is no truth to the argument of the Prius being gay, and anyone who says that probably has an ulterior motive.